Hello everybody and welcome. We're still busy with our Edith pages, and these are the ones I've got left out of this signature. So there's this one, which I love. You can tell we're getting to the end of the year, can't you? It's all sort of fruits and fruits. On the back of that we have a gorgeous text page, so I don't know. This one, oh yeah, nice text on there as well. This one, well, that's all text, so I'll leave that to one side. This one, have actually used the other side of this page already, because this is not my first rodeo. Oh no, this is the 4th time I have recorded this video. And if it goes wrong this time, then you're just basically never going to see it. So yeah, I use the other side of that. I like that a lot. It's nice. We've got the starling. Now starlings, I must be honest, they're not my most favourite birds. They're, when you put bread out for all the birds, the starlings come and they bully the little ones. And I don't like that. I just don't like their attitude. So I'm not going to use him. Oh, but look on the back, it's beautiful text anyway, so that's all right. And that's the papers. Have we already looked at that? Yeah. I think I'm going a bit bonkers. So I'm not going to use him. I am going to use that. And yeah, well, I'll keep that in abeyance because of the beautiful text on the back. So I'll use this page here. Put those to one side for another day. Right, what we're going to do is ostensibly make a coin envelope, but I already have a template for a coin envelope. It's this one out the template set, but as you can see, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all. And the other thing is, I want to use up and have visible as much of this as I can. So that, I mean, that's it's not going to work, is it really? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a template for a coin envelope that will allow me to see as much of this as I possibly can. So I'm going to make it out of just ordinary, you know, the stuff I use in the book anyway. And I'm going to cut myself a piece that is exactly the same size as Edith. So there and there. So let's trim that off, and then we should have a page that is exactly our Edith page. I'm not even actually sure what it measures, to be honest. I know it's quite a big page. I know Edith is quite large. I don't think she was a large lady in real life. I think she was quite svelte, actually. So there we are. That's that. So we now have ourselves a piece of paper that is the same size as Edith. Excellent. Let's get the scoreboard out. And you can do this either side, it doesn't really matter, but have it portrait in your scoreboard, because that's obviously the way Edith is. And score down. Quarter isn't quite enough, ½ an inch is too much. So I'm going to score at 3/8, so it's 1/4 plus 1 pip. I'm going to score down there. And as I go, I'll ink so you can actually see what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's just a wash of cream card and you haven't got a clue what's going on. So let's fold that over and we'll ink it. Just burnish that in. There we are. So I'll ink it in vintage photo because it's a bit darker, isn't it? You'll see it more easily. Right, so that is going to be one side of our coin envelope. What we're going to do now is take the other side, the piece that's not folded, and bring it over so it's almost, I'll ink this actually, and then you'll see it'll be more easier for you, in fact, more easy. There you go. So I'm just going to bring that over like that, and you see I'm almost touching but not quite, just like that. Hold it in the centre and then finger press it down like that, then burnish that in, and then we can ink that as well. There we go. And now we have the rudiments of the coin envelope. You can see what's happening. So we can see all of that and we can see all of that. So we're not detracting from anything, any of the lovely Edith paper. So what I want to do now is put the bottom of it in. And that's the bit that gets folded up at the bottom. So I'd like that to be, I'll say 5/8 of an inch. There's half an inch, so 1 pip more. So 5/8 of an inch. Because it's not as if we're going to run out of height. We've got way too much height. So that's that in there. And what I'm going to do is open that up and ink it. You wouldn't ordinarily. I'm just doing it so we can see what's going on here. There we are. Right. So there's that line on the bottom. Now what I want to do is cut out this section here and cut out this section here. And I want to, just so as I can be sure that folds up nicely, I want to go just above that. There's my scored line. I want to go just above it. I don't know where my tinny ruler's gone. There it is. So, and I want to come into that point. So it's just as the merest angle. Like that. So can you see that? It's just above the scored line. So let's cut those bits out. Along that line we've just drawn. To there. Down that score line there, so that's that bit gone, and then this bit up the score line there and across to meet it. There we go. Now I just want to kind of just round those off a little bit, so I'm just going to hold them together just like that and just round them a little bit. Just like that. So there we are. Not the world's best rounding, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're doing all right. So let's just check that all this actually works. And that folds up beautifully. It's not impeded by anything. Let's just ink that so you can see what's occurring. There we go, like that. So now we need to do the top, but we have to work out what height we want it really, because we've got loads of height here. It measures actually 8.5 inches. Well, that's just too much, isn't it, for any journal? I think something like, well, that would be 6 there. That's quite nice. Oh dear, Mr. F's choking. Can't be having that. That would be 7. I still think that's a little bit too much. How about 6.5? Yeah, I like 6.5. I think that's all right, that sort of height. So let me just put a little mark where 6.5 is. It's there. This is an arbitrary amount. You can make yours any height you like. You can make it tiny if you wanted to. That's the joy of these sort of things. Right, so just going to put that mark on there, like that, and then score that in. Lovely. So I don't want it that tall. There's my score line there. I don't want to have all this at the top. I want to just leave about 1 inch. So let's cut that off at about 1 inch. Let me just put that score line in and you'll be able to see a bit more clearly. So I'm just going to put that on the inch mark, approximately. You don't, be all right. Actually, I don't know if I want a little bit more than that. I'm going to go to about 1.25 inches, I think. Yeah. There we go. So that's what I've got left at the top. So let's have a look at this. See what we've got. Just going to ink these lines in here. You wouldn't ordinarily, as I say, but for the sake of clarity. So that's what we've got so far. So we want to get rid of this bit. That's no use to us. And we also want to get rid of this bit. So let's do that. So cut along your score line. Just to the left of it, as I'm cutting it, just to the left of it. Get a tidier job really if you do that. So that's waist, and this bit here is also waist. There we go. So, we're getting close to having the template of an envelope. I mean, that's incredible. Here's my tag template. That will do nicely. So I'm just going to hold that up there. I'm going to get it flush with the top, flush with the side. I don't think that's big enough. Let's try this one. No, that's not big enough either. Okay, well, I'll put this one in and we'll just extend the line. Pencil. There we go. Turn that over. Do the same thing here. And I just need to draw that line right to the top. It's because I've made my flap 1.25 inches, not the inch that it was originally, but there we are. Yeah, that's fine. So just chop those off, and that's our envelope top. You could round it if you want. You don't have to make it like this. There we go. So that's those. So there we have it. We have our envelope template. Perfect. The only thing I think I want to add is a little thumb notch in there. So let's just see. That measures 3.25. Everything measures 3.25. So half of that is 1 5/8 inches. So let's put a mark there. And I'm just going to take that out with my little thumb round punch. Yes, that's right. There we go. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy that we have a template that will use the most out of an Edith page that we possibly can. So let's put it on the page and hope it fits. Look at that, it's just perfect. Oh dear, I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, that's good. So let's just draw around it. See first that we're maximising what we've got. And I think we are there, yes. So this is the one that I can get straight because it's the straight edge of the book. So let's get that really straight. and just draw around it. Where's my other pencil? And I'm going to go around the thumb notch, so that'll tell me where to put it on the, when we're doing the one for real. So you can do this for any book size that you've got. It's exactly the same way of going on. And you know, then you can decide on the height, on the width, everything. There we go. Now, just need to cut that out. So you see we have used all of it, really. That little bit of leaf there that we haven't used, but, you know, come on. We've done really quite well. I'm just going to go straight over the thumb notch. I can take it out again with the punch. Yeah, I'm not the world's fastest cutter outer. But you don't have to be, do you? You know, I keep saying to you, you know, I watch the crafting channels and they say, oh, you know, you can do this card in 5 minutes. And why? I don't understand the need for speed when you're crafting, really. It's surely part of the enjoyment is taking your time. But, you know, maybe some people have got to make hundreds of Christmas cards or something. I don't know. I really do not know. So around our bottom flappy bit, and if you didn't like the round you got on the first time, you can alter it now. And then this little angled piece here. There we go. So we didn't waste much out of that, and even that won't be waste, I can tell you. Right, so let me just take my thumb notch out of there. It's much easier when you've got a pencil line to go by. There we are. Right, so I think the thing to do is to ink all the way around there. And then when we fold it, we can ink a bit more. It's probably easier. If you've got any residual pencil lines, you know, now's a good time to rub them off. I think I've made a relatively good job of cutting this out. Not too bad anyway. Now I've still got this fluffy bit here, which probably I need to get rid of. But I really want to get rid of the absolute minimum. That's all right. That's fine. That wasn't even a whisker, that. It wasn't even half a whisker. Right, there we are. So now let's put our score lines in. So get your scoreboard. And what I've done with my little scoreboard here, which I love and use regularly, is I've just taken my pencil. Yeah, where have my pencils gone? Here. And it happens I've done it on 3 inches. You could do it on anything. I just did it in the middle sort of thing. And just draw your pencil down there and it'll lead. You can use a pen, a fibre tip, anything you like. Pencil's fine. And I've just drawn that. So when it comes to things like folding, scoring this top piece in, you can line it up on that line there and line it up on that line there, and you know you're straight. Because how often do you score it in and you're not straight? Well, if you're me, lots of times. So I can do that and I know that that is exactly going to be straight. It's fabulous, isn't it? So same here. Let me get this corner right on the line there, and that corner on the line there, and score that in. Perfect. Now then, this wants to go on that line there, and I just can't see it. I'm just going to have to bring that up a little bit. So it's on that line there, and it's on that line there. So let's score that in. There we are. And the only other score is this one here. So let's do that. So just make sure that corner there is right on the line, and it is on the bottom as well. Okay, so let's score that in. Lovely. And that really should be the worst of it, the nerve-wracking bit over. So let's fold this in, and let's ink down there. Ink as we go, I think. Let's fold this one in. There we are. And then we're at this one. So you see, once you've got your template, it's not really a big job. And if you've got a line like that on your scoreboard, I am telling you, that is a game changer. For me, at any rate. Right, so I think that's everything inked. So let's just see if it's all going to go together. It's going to go to there, that's going to go to there, that's going to fold up. Ah, no, this is just catching here. So just need to take a whisker off that to stop it catching. So just a shaving across there and across here. And bring it up to the corner there. Let's try that and see if that is any better. No, it's, oh, I don't know. No, it's all right, I think. Thought it still wanted to catch, but it doesn't. It's fine. So all I've done is just taken the merest hint off there, just to allow it to sit straight, you know. Right, so let's get gluing. That's what I say. No, I forgot to stitch. My goodness me, guys. That was nearly a calamity. All I'm going to do, the only stitching I'm going to do with this one, is to stitch around inside this ink line, which will be the front, really. I'm not going to stitch that, anything else, just inside that ink mark. So I'll be back in a sec. Right, I've stitched around there, and now I'm going to glue it up. Let's hope it all fits. It should do. Oh, I can't tell you what's gone wrong with all the times that I've recorded this prior to this one. All sorts of things, ridiculous things that you would never think would happen, but you know, they do. I recorded a whole one with no sound whatsoever. I recorded a whole one, and just as I neared the end, my iMac decided that it wanted to upgrade itself to software or something, whatever, and just dumped me out. So I'm just going to go around the edge of here. The first one I got right to the end as well, and I was just at this stage when I realised it didn't actually fit. I'd got something wrong. So yeah, if ever I knew how to do anything, it should be this. I just want to ink the insides of that flap there, because that will be visible. There we go. Now I need to make a journaling card. to go in there. It does look nice though, doesn't it? You can see, you know, front and back, we've got pretty much that whole image. So I'm going to use my, one of my pieces, I use this one here, to make the journaling card. And I'm going to use the stitch lines as a guide to the width that I want. So I want it about that wide. And about that tall. There, and let's chop that out. These collages are just so handy for things like this because they're quite sturdy. So you don't have to back them or mess around like that. They're ready just to use. Timmy doesn't always like cutting through them, but a bit of gentle persuasion. There we go. I'm going to keep that bit. Right, so here we go. I'm going to round the corners a little bit, just on the 1/4 inch one. Then it'll slide in more readily. Oh, this is lovely, this collage. So much better than chucking the bits out, isn't it? So I'm going to ink around there. And then I'm going to stitch around it. Just a little bit on the back. There we go. Lovely. So I'm just going to stitch around that. So I'll just pop you on pause for a moment. Okay, so I've stitched around there. The next thing that I want to do is put an eyelet in. And I'm going to put it in centrally because my thumb notch is centrally. It's centrally. Oh dear. Central. It's been a long day. 1 5/8. So about there is where I want to put my eyelet. So I'll get my thingies out and I'll use a silver one. Need to order some more eyelets actually. Haven't got any of those, you know, that really nice sort of antique brassy colour. And I did say at New Year, kind of a revolution. Yeah, let's have a revolution. Let's have a crafting revolution. No, I did say as a sort of resolution, nothing to do with a revolution in fact, that I was going to stop spending money on craft things because I have so many. But there are certain things, I think, like eyelets, that, I mean, you have to have. And to be honest, you don't derive an enormous amount of pleasure from buying your eyelets, do you? Really? It's just something that you have to have. Right, that's that. Now, remember when we did the little tag on the other one and we tied it in with string? I'm going to make a tag out of that. Let me get my little Timmy, let me get my cutting plates, and let me get a die. Oh, a little die but quite a fat one. This one here in fact. And I'm hoping that's wide. Yeah, that's wide enough. So I'm going to cut that out. Actually, if I bring that down a little bit, I'll get a tiny bit of blue, which will be good. So let's run that through Timmy. This is the one thing of all the things I've got that I wouldn't like to be without. My tiny Timmy, he's just the best. Look at that collage, which was really thick, straight through in one pass. Amazing, isn't it? He's an amazing little boy. And he lives up here, just to my left, so I can reach him very easily. and just going to ink around that, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach this one. I'm going to use ball and chain. I really like the look of it, and it's a bit more flexible than just the twine that we used last time. So here I've got my chain, and these are my ends. Timmy also does these. This is what his looks like. You get, I don't know how much, does it tell you? It doesn't say how much you, oh yeah, 36 inches, so 1 yard of chain and 6 of each connectors. I don't know how much they are, but I can, well, that says $3.99, but that's not the right price. It's one of Mr. F's things. But I can say that if you're going to buy it, your best places are Ali. Don't forget, you've probably got to buy the ends separately, so don't forget to order those. I think they're just simply called ball and chain connectors. And if you're in the States, I would recommend BB Crafts, which is, I think, where these ones came from. They're great quality, and the only thing is I can't do them myself. I have to ask Mr. F to do them. So about that much, I think. Snip that off. So that's going to go through that hole, through the eyelet, and then I'm going to hand it to Mr. F, who kindly will put the end on. Thank you, my dear.
My pleasure, my dear.
So yeah, that would be my advice. Go to BB Crafts if you're in the States. If you're anywhere else, Ali. For things like this, Ali's pretty unbeatable, really. Because, you know, they're not copywritten or anything like that. So, that's that. Let me show you the one that I did earlier. Oh, that was yesterday's one. The toadstools. This was the one from earlier today. And there's my little ball and chain with my tag on. Here's this one. Thanks, Mr. F. With my ball and chain and my tag on. So I'm just going to pop that in there. Leave the tag on the outside. We put the thing in the centre so it can come out that thumb notch, and there we have it. It's lovely, isn't it? It's really, really nice. So there we have 3. I'm not sure that there's not even another one floating around somewhere. It's highly possible, but we've got 3 of those anyway. And our basket, look at it, it's becoming full. Wow, there's loads in here, loads and loads. So let's put these 3 in to add to the mix. There we go. Oh, I want a nicer one than that. Let's have that poking up because it's lovely. So, yes, we're getting full again. So that's all I have to say to you today. I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a real struggle getting it done. But I do think it's worth making yourself a template, you know, and I showed you how to, so it's not difficult. And I'll see you again really, really soon. Bye!